This time I went out and I sat on the lower step outside to have my cigarette. There was a trickling of water. And I remembered Brian Nicholson, the conversation I had with Brian Nicholson, and David Lynch's expression in that interview. People asking him about how the depressing nature, what kind of a life does he lead, because the sorts of films that he makes, and the expression on his face when he says the filmmaker doesn't need to suffer. It's priceless. And Brian Nicholson said, "No, I do not. I firmly believe that artists don't have to suffer." And Brian used to live in an unheated. He never turned the heating on in his rooms at Schumacher College. He just worked all the time, and but he was an administrator, not a filmmaker, I guess. I was wondering whether David was talking about people leaving messages on his intercom in the middle of the night. But if you're making a big movie, so I thought the alchemy extends to collecting up the ashes of your friends and doing alchemy with that too, which is how I felt about Marcus Kuhn yesterday when he wrote and said that there's a chance that he might be able to get to San Diego. And he talked a bit about Cambridge work on CAP that Paul Karger had done during his PhD with I can't remember the guy's name. Roger Needham. So yeah, yesterday was definitely Computer Security Day, not Movie Day. I was in a black mood all day. And today sitting on that lower step listening to the water dripping, I remembered Hilary Nicholson and the Chemical Wedding, and which I never got round to reading. She was really into that. It was during Rupert Sheldrake's course. Wow. Was that the one where Karen Karen did her fire juggling, fire spitting act, and I was an observing scientist, wearing a white coat, taking notes. That was the second acting experience of my life. The first was with Annabelle Jeffries at Ludlow College as an interviewer. Oh, I loved doing that. That was such good fun. It was an improv. Do you remember Annabelle? God, you were wonderful. You just drove the whole thing, didn't you? Anyway, yeah, so, burn your friends, but do something interesting with the ashes, because I think something pretty good can come out of it. At the time, Annabelle Jeffries and I did that absolutely supernova-like performance. What was it? It was just this. Why were we doing it? Why was it with you? How the hell did I end up with you? You're the most gorgeous girl in college. I'm sitting there. How did that happen? Was it an end of term thing, or I think that was around the time that I was running the film club. We were watching films like Midnight Express and Picnic at Hanging Rock on VHS video that we hired from the rental place, and because you weren't allowed to do public performances with those videos, we gave away Smarties at the door, and people bought Smarties to pay for the video rental. Good film club. I only did it because that was the only way I could watch decent films, because there were no video players in Denham Hall, and so the way to do it was to do a Ludlow College Film Club. Yesterday I went back and chatted with Tom Reed and the gang. The gang's kind of changed a bit. It's quite good leaving and going away. Going back, you see the diehards still there. Tom's talking about moving to Georgia. And I said I was worried about the July heat. And I was thinking about Donald Trump saying, that the right way to get to the United States for these migrants is to apply from Mexico. When I looked up the process, they say you should do it from within the States now. So that was my video 2 days ago. Between a rock and a hard place. I was quite surprised to see that 8 painted on the iron bar. There's nothing painted on the iron bars on this side, so I guess it's a Customs and Border Protection marker. I also thought about the Renaissance and Mohammed bin Salman with Da Vinci's Salvador del Mundo on his yacht. That's a big project.